Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton with the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm interviewing Jacqueline Schoedel, an executive chef and co-owner of the Speckled Egg. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks, Debbie. Thanks for having me.
So, Jacqueline, did you think you would always be a chef?
Actually, no. So when I was like 13 or 14 years old, I thought obviously I was going to be a model. I got picked to be in there's a store called the Fashion Bug in Ohio. It's just like a local fashion chain. I was in a fashion show and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be a model. And I was just trying to go down that path, and I realized it was making me very unhappy because it's not an easy career path to follow, and my parents were behind it. So my mom got me involved in a youth group at church, and in the youth group we did Friday night dinners. And in the Friday night dinners, I fell in love with the emotions of serving other people, and how food can take just a group of random strangers and turn them into people who are all able to have a conversation and share in this one common interest, which is food. So I quickly, as a 14-year-old, you love something and then you love something else very quickly. So I switched from having to be this super skinny model to I want to bring people together. I want to cook. I want to have that common interest and me be a part of that. And that's when I decided, probably around like 14, 15, I was like, I'm going to have a career in the culinary arts.
So is your career path kind of typical of chefs? And can you tell us more about your transition from making this decision as a 14-year-old to where you are today as an executive chef?
I don't know if there's any real typical way of becoming a chef. I know there's lots of ways you can become a chef. You don't have to go to culinary school. Lots of people do. But at 14, 15, I was thinking, what can I do to get out of high school the fastest? Because I could not stand it. I just couldn't stand it. I love English and I love writing, but I couldn't stand reading. I couldn't stand math. I was like, how can I get out of school fast? Because I was actually homeschooled for 12 years of my life. So I was thinking, oh, I gotta get out of my mom's house. I just gotta get out. So at 16, I got a job at a local Italian restaurant, and I got in the kitchen as fast as possible. And I was like, when I was that age, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be my career. I don't need high school anymore. I'm gonna drop out. I don't need this. And my mom was smart enough to let me breathe. We took a break for a couple months, and I was just the line cook for a little bit. And I realized quickly that you can't survive on $8 an hour as a line cook. So I had to finish high school, and I did. I have a diploma, and I finished high school, and I was just tried to get into a culinary school. So I applied to a bunch of different culinary schools, and I picked the Art Institute of Pittsburgh in downtown. I think a little bit because I was afraid to go far away from my parents, but also it's just far enough that they couldn't visit every week. But from 15 to, I think I went to culinary school at 17 and a half or 18. I made it through high school, thankfully, and got started in culinary school.
In terms of being an executive chef or any kind of chef, what are some skills that make you really good?
Or being able to utilize your team really well. So you have to be able to understand that you can't do everything, and you need to be able to be humble and willing to do every job in the kitchen, but also be able to coach and teach people what you need them to do. So there can be no ego as an executive chef. You have to be able to coach and teach people what you need them to know, and give them the knowledge and the power to do what you need them to do, because you have to be able to oversee everything.
What about your current work has surprised you, either in terms of opening the Speckled Egg or as being a chef in general?
so once you worked, like I think in my career is probably about 10 to 12 years now. I've been doing this. So once you've worked your way up to that, you've kind of seen a lot of it. You've seen people send back a perfectly good steak when it's the right temperature. You've seen people melt down on the line and you've had to jump in and cook while you're expoing. Like, you've seen people not show up constantly. You've seen interviews canceled day of. You've seen the kitchen flooding. You've seen the roof fall in. I've cooked with the lights have gone out. So I think it's really not what's surprising, it's just how you handle the surprises, because there's so many variables with cooking, even down to like what's so inspiring about the speckled egg is we're based off of eggs, which are so simple but also so complex. So even down to cooking a simple egg, there's like milliseconds that could mess it up. So I think as a chef, you have to just be prepared for any surprise.
So I'm a student in high school and I want to be a chef. What questions should I ask myself before I really take the leap in terms of this is going to be a good fit for me?
Okay. Do you like being hot? Do you like being humid? Do you like missing Christmas Eve, Christmas, Easter? Do you like not having weekends off? And do you like the hours of 3 p.m. to 2 in the morning? Because that's when you're going to be doing most of your living. So it's like, in order to start being a line cook, restaurants open at 5, right? So you get to work at 2 or 3. And you'll probably get home at midnight, but you probably won't go home. You'll go out with your coworkers and you'll get home at 2. And then you'll have to wake up and do it all over again. It's tough. It's really tough. It's not for the faint of heart.
So given that it's not for the faint of heart, what's one piece of advice you would offer anyone who's aspiring to be a chef?
I would say try it. I would say go to a restaurant that you eat at a lot or you have a particular interest and ask if you can work there for free for a day. Honest. It's called a stage. You can ask for a stage, and we are always looking for new talent as chefs. We don't need you to have all the skills. We just need you to have a good attitude. So I would say if you're looking to do this, get your mom to sign a paper, go and see what it's really like, because there's really no way to describe how physical it is. Like, I'm on my feet for 12 hours a day minimum when I'm working at the restaurant. So it's really, I would say try it. And there's lots of chefs out there that will give you a shot. Maybe you're not going to have to go in there and you're not going to have to go bang pans or chop an onion a million times faster than you think, but just go and see the environment and feel what it's like. I would say that. I would say go ask questions.
Jacqueline, this has been really wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and experiences with us.
Oh, I had so much fun. Thanks for talking.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!